Now, by the time it gets to the physical body, there's a big red flag going, uh-oh.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, it's too late.
So there has to be a discipline in this type of career where taking care of you first, loving yourself, respecting yourself in that self-care is absolutely crucial, because I really believe, from my experience in the last 25 years, I've seen a lot of therapists who are ill and psychologists and psychiatrists who don't understand they're empathic, and they're taking this onto their nervous system, they're taking this onto their emotional body, and it does stay and house for a period of time. So if they don't know how to take care of themselves, it's called transfer.
Has it happened?
And you walk around with a transfer of emotions that don't belong to you.
You're relating to that.
I am, because I remember when I was doing body work, I didn't realize it, but I was taking on.
Absorb.
I was absorbed. And people would leave feeling really good, and I would too, but then over a period of years, it became...
As a masseuse.
Yeah, And so what I also learned, that long hot baths with
Epsom
soda
salts.
and Epsom salts is a good thing. Lavender, right?
Yeah.
Also, another thing that you can do, if you don't have time to jump in a shower, I highly recommend that. But if you don't have time, then to have some cedar or some sage and just clear the field in that way, or to do what I would call a visualization, holographic visualization, where you bring up a field of light and put it around you and circle it around you. I like to put a halo around the top of my head, like a tubular, like the inside of a light fixture, and spin it clockwise until it creates a veil of light that expands out into the field. And you can do this, if you're disciplined enough, you can do it literally. Snap your fingers, you got it going, you can feel it, and it's done.
And it's just doing it. It's making it a habit.
Yeah.
It's
Little
part
postcard
A good
sitting
habit,
somewhere
not a
on
bad
the
habit.
Very
We
good
want,
habit.
We want good habits.
That's exactly right.
Now, of course, I've worked in television professionally and fun, and I'm really interested in communication, and I was telling Badeish of something that happened recently, and it was, I felt, a lack of communication. So you probably see that a lot with people that come in. Communication is a big issue.
Yes, it is a very big issue, and lots of times it's around making a promise, and there's different ingredients to
You mean,
making.
when you say that, you mean goal setting in people's lives?
No, it's just like, for example, you know,
Yeah.
I'm communicating with you. I'll meet you, and we will have coffee, and we'll discuss such and such a, you know. So there's particular ingredients to go into making a promise that can be kept.
Yeah.
Because many times that's our breakdowns. With promises and requests. We don't realize that a request of someone is actually a promise.
Yeah.
Also, you mean people take it superficially, they say, I'll meet you, and then they just blow you off, and they don't think anything of it.
Right. Or they just don't remember the time, or they might not have a, I call it a shared background of obviousness.
I love it.
Yeah, for example, if I said,
I like the way you communicate.
Would you water my plants? Okay, I would assume that you would water my in-house plants with maybe a pitcher of water, not bring the hose in.
Right,
You know?
yeah, that's
so it's
obvious.
obvious, but sometimes it's not obvious to the other person.
Right.
Or maybe my conditions of satisfaction are not being fulfilled like I would expect them because my values are different than your values. So there's all these subtle ways that we assume that we have a very clear promise, but it can fall apart very easily.
So what do we do about that?
Well, that's where...
It's hard on a friendship, because
It
I was
is.
talking to Badeish about a group of friends and how I saw it break down because of communication, and I felt like, well, I like everybody, I hate this.
But you personalized it.
I personalized it, yeah. Well, I was kind of in the middle of it, yeah. And it's just very disconcerting.
It is, but it's part of our growth.
Are we afraid to speak the truth, or we just have different values?
Yes.
Like, it's both, I bet.
I bet it's both.
Yeah, I think it's both. I think that people are afraid to be intimate. I think they're afraid to tell themselves the truth. I think they've been taught some rather deceptive type of communication skills from the time that they were a child, watching family and relatives and other people. It starts in 4th grade when they become competitive and stop being a we and it becomes an I.
Yes.
So I think that in your position that it's probably extraordinary for you to be able to have a client that you can teach communication skills, because one of the biggest distortions is how we judge and blame other people and don't take responsibility.
That's exactly what was my
for what we create.
That's right.
That's a lot of it.
What is my part, or what is you know?
Part of it's you want to be liked. So some people are afraid to say things because they're afraid they'll be hurt, and this person will be mad at them. That's another issue too.
And I would say that's one of the biggies too. Wanting acceptance and approval. And the communication, the misuse of communication skills around wanting to have that.
Is there a way to say things though? I mean, you know, if you're a person and you talk sincerely from your heart, and it's not like you're judging a person, or you're observing what's going on, and you say, this isn't satisfactory to me because such and such affected me this way, and it doesn't work for me.
Well, see, some people don't want you to have your feelings. They don't want you to know that you're uncomfortable, so they make it all about them.
Oh, that, you know,
Have
this
you
is really fun talking with you. Now, is Mercury still in retrograde?
It
Because we're
is.
sitting in the dark.
We're sitting in the dark. Well, there's a blue light. I love blue light.
Yeah.
You know, it's the mystery.
Well, we can keep talking because actually we'll probably take
Our audience will be actually go, look what's going on with them.
We shouldn't have started talking about radio, because if we were on radio, this would not bother anybody.
Not at all.
Hi, folks, we're back.
We're back.
A little interlude. See, we're such good communicators. We can communicate in the dark or the light.
That's right.
Don't you think that in your experience that you have had a lot of women who have had some type of some form of psychological, physical abuse, and they are attracted to interrogators, intimidators, and controllers?
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Without realizing it, too, maybe.
No, they don't realize it because it's a pattern that was developed by who their father or grandfather, the male figure in their life, possibly.
And you know what? I have so many. And what I notice is that they get to a point in their life where everything's falling apart, and they can't understand why is it falling apart. It's because it's no longer working for them at all, and they have come to a point where they need to do it differently, and they're not quite sure how to do that. So one of the things I tell my clients, it's like you've lived now on the East Coast all of your life. The sun's always come up in the morning, and you have lived these habits, but you're tired of it. It's not working for you anymore, and so you're going to take a long journey. And that journey is going to take you around the horn, let's say. But doing so, you're going to be faced with what's uncomfortable. There's going to be many waves there, and you're going to have to take with you lots of obstacles, and you're going to have to take with you on your ship only the best mates. And so therefore you're going to have to let go of those that don't serve you, that's dragging you down. So that means they're going to have to let go of people. They're going to have to let go of places and things that drain them. Old habits, ways they sabotage themselves.
Old beliefs. That's got to be really hard.
Yeah, interpretations.
Old energies. Yeah, that's going to be very hard.
That's part of the coaching conversation, is to pull apart, you know, okay, so you're doing this, so you have this experience with this person. Is it working? Are you really invested? Is that person contributing or draining you? You know, and how much longer can you go with the living on the East Side? Are you truly ready to take that journey? And this is what it looks like. And so that's exactly right.
When they've come to you, they've already taken a big step.
And that's what's exciting. Yeah. Because I say, you know, you're not going to be the same person when you leave today, because when you made the choice to come in here, that was a noble act, saying that you were going to do it different, and you're going to leave a totally new person, and they feel it, and you know what? They carry that hope and that I would say positive energy with them for days.
You must have to inspire them on that first call there, you know. I mean, they've made the
I give them kudos.
Right, that's the word I was going to use.
I give them kudos. I mean, really, and they call me. They don't know who I am, but they get that. Somehow that their intuition is finally bubbling up, and they're going.
Well, I could see why I would go to you. I mean, when I first met you, I felt you had a very nice, sincere demeanor, and I felt that you seemed to be a kind person, empathetic person. So your first approach, your first appearance, I think is very important as a coach. And this is probably not true for everybody. Everybody probably comes different amount of sessions. And would they come once a week, twice a week, 3 times?
That's another very valid point. You know, I always stress to my client, it is up to the momentum